Hey guys, Kev here, and it's gonna be an episode of Shootin' the Shiz. So what's going on? How are you guys? What's crackin'-lackin'? I'm back in the old stomping grounds. I'm in Lansdale right now. That's where I used to live. We just moved last week. You guys have probably heard all about that, so I won't drag on about it. But yeah, content gonna be a little light for a little bit, I think. I have a few videos stashed on my laptop, so I'll probably get a video up every day this coming week. Today is what is today? Sunday. The hell is it? The 24th. Yeah, so I'll probably get a video up every day next week, and then we'll see going forward if I can get back into a rhythm. It's been a little rough with the move, like just, you know, that whole thing, and then trying to get back focused on like work, full-time job, Divo stuff has taken a priority right now because we got the nips in and I had to QC those, and I had some awesome help from local buddies, knife guys who came to my aid, and we ripped through 500 nips in 3 hours. So shout out to Brent, Backpack B, shout out to Nate, shout out to Nick, shout out to Kent and his son. Who am I missing? Mike, of course. Mike came through. That's 6 people, I think. That's probably everybody, right? Hope I didn't miss anybody. But yeah. Dudes came in to help QC, and it was absolutely a blast as usual. Super helpful. Nate dropped a knife on his foot, and well, it was bleeding everywhere. It was hilarious, actually. He was like trying to front flip something, and it fell. And you know how it is. I do it all the time. And you just like slide your foot out of the way, or you bat the knife, or it lands sideways and you get lucky, or whatever the circumstance is. But it just so happened he wasn't wearing shoes because we were upstairs in my office and it was raining that day. So I was like, yeah, we'll take our shoes off. And it just went right down, right into his foot. And he was like, ow. And then he like, just look, you know, it was just like, is it okay, whatever. And it was like 30 seconds later, we didn't see much blood, just a little bit. He took his sock off, and when he took his sock off, it just went bananas. All he cared about was getting blood on my carpet, which is awesome. Shout out to you, Nate. And he like somehow he got to the bathroom in the hallway, which luckily has like Cortex flooring, and dude, he'd gotten like a speck of blood on the carpet. I cleaned it up real easily later, but he like gets into the bathroom, and then there's a mat in there. He fucking slides it out of the way. He just does not want to get blood on anything. And dude, literally like puddle of blood in the bathroom. He's just like wiping it up. He's like not worried about his foot at all. It was hilarious. I'm like, dude, just take care of your foot. But we ended up, luckily Brent was there, Backpack B, and he knows some shit. So he was very helpful, like, get this, dude, you know, get this. Cause I'm like, hey, I'm gonna get a Band-Aid, a first aid kit or whatever. He's like, dude, we need like gauze and shit. Like, I'm like, I have a trauma kit in the car from Blue Creek Knives back in the day. Shout out to Blue Creek Knives. Brian sold me on that. So I have that in the truck. We didn't end up using it, but like I brought that in, and we like wrapped gauze, taped it, and then just duct taped his foot. And we were like, all right, dude, you gotta go like urgent care. Somebody will drive you there or whatever. After he had it duct taped, like it wasn't bleeding, like it wasn't pouring out anymore. He's like, I'm just gonna go home, see what happens. I think he was gonna try to super glue it. I don't know what ended up happening last night, but hopefully he's okay. But that was eventful, and it was awesome having all the dudes there. And yeah, it's always a blast. So I appreciate any of you guys who come and help out if you're watching this. But anyway, I'll show you the nip that I'm carrying. I've been carrying this black pearl camo carbon one. Now, if you guys get these, if you decide you want one, the box says double black CF, because that's what we originally ordered from Camo Carbon, but then they were like, sorry, we messed up, that's like twice the price, but we have black pearl. And black pearl was actually what I wanted. So it was just like miscommunications, but that's what we told, or that's what the invoice said or something, so Kubi wrote it on the box. So anyway, it's black pearl Camo Carbon, not double black, in case that matters to you. It might matter to like 2 people. But yeah, this one has the black pearl, and then all satin hardware, and then it has a black backspacer, pivot collars, and clip. We do have kits for these. We ordered some kits, and I did test out a bead blasted clip on this, and it looks good. So you could throw a bead blasted set on here and it would probably look dope. But that's how we're selling the kits on this knife. We're just selling collars, backspacer, clip. Not the whole hardware set is purple. You know what I mean? Just to make it a little bit easier. Because I feel like most people don't want to put purple screws in. Like, they just want the collars and the clip and the backspacer. But anyway, QC went great. We got through 500. Dude, I think Kubi killed it. There was the usual, you know, you have the usual variance in detent, you know, from medium light to strongish, right? Which I think all of those suit this knife very well. It's going to depend on the person, because you have a really grippy flipper tab. So if you get one with a strong detent, it might be maybe a little aggressive for some people. The ones that are more medium, you know, you just push and it pops. And then the flick, I mean, the flick is really hard to fail in general, because it's so small and you're down here. You just basically have to fire it out. This one's probably in the middle on detent, just the one I grabbed, and I love it. I can thumb flick it just fine. So you just dig your thumb into the hole, so she said, and flick it. For the reverse flick, same thing, just like that. Flipper, I kind of do like a push switch. I always talk about push switch. Push, drag, right? Where a light switch is kind of like pulling all the way down like that. You can do it. You can't really push button because of the way the flipper tab's kind of tucked away. And then the flipper tab's hidden when it's open. And you have that 50-50 choil, pretty common Divo thing at this point. And you just get a really good grip. And we made this very soft up here. So it's an excellent utility knife. And that's what essentially the idea was. We wanted a micro knife that would be essentially a little box cutter for you, and that's why we chose S90V steel. So we wanted it to have really good edge retention, pretty good corrosion resistance, and you know, it's not going to go through giant staples without chipping, right? But it's a little box cutter. It's going to be great for cardboard, precision cutting, any of that kind of stuff. I've used this a ton, and it's one of my favorites we've done because of the size and the shape of the blade and everything. It just is perfect for me. I don't need large knives, so this just, I can manipulate it really, really well. Pinch grip, this forward grip, slicing like this, just works really great. And I mean, the action on these, surprisingly, is, I mean, look at that. This is a 2 1/4 inch blade, 2-inch cutting edge. Swings, smooth shake. And I have not taken this apart. I have not put skiffs in here. I don't think I will. I mean, it just feels great as is. I don't even really want to mess with it. All I did was I glued the pivot because I had it loosen on me after a couple of days of carrying and fidgeting nonstop. That's just gonna happen. So I just glued it so I don't have to worry about that. And it was pretty tight when I glued it. Like, it wasn't dropping as easily, and it just breaks in. And now, but there's a good balance here, I think, of, you can see how slim that lock bar is, which you don't need. Like, you don't need a super thick liner on a knife this tiny, right? But the balance is, it's got a good detent, but it's not like hard to push out of the way. Because a lot of times on these tiny knives, to get a strong detent, right, you got to put a lot of pressure on, and it's very noticeable on a small knife because less material, less spring to it, right? If you have a long liner, you can get a little more tension without having it feel super strong because it's long, so it has more spring and flex to it. Whereas a small liner like this, if you put too much tension on it, it becomes like uncomfortable to disengage. But they did a great job on that on this. You can see if you look in the, it's interesting how it locks up. I mean, it's pretty standard that it's a liner lock, but you can see like this portion right here is not locking up on the blade. It kind of goes up under the flipper tab, and then the lock bar portion, the lock face portion starts. It's pretty cool. They just came out really good, guys. We're excited. The carbon fibers come in around 1.8 to 2 ounces, and the titaniums come in around 2.8 ounces. There's 4 versions. This carbon fiber one, and then there's a purple nurple, we're calling it, and that is a purple and lavender camo carbon with satin hardware and purple collars, backspacer, and clip. And then they both have this beautiful true belt satin, like legitimate, like really good belt satin. We finally got Kubi to do it. I'm so stoked on it. We're doing it on everything. So those are the versions that we will be dropping at Divo Knives. Now, there's 2 exclusives. One with White Mountain Knives, that's an all stonewash version with blue accents. And then there's a murdered out chaw version with black wash blade, but everything's murdered out. And that one is a traditional pocketknives.com exclusive. So far, I think we're gonna all drop the same day. I haven't talked to Austin yet at Traditional Pocket Knives, but I did talk to Justin at White Mountain, and he wanted to, I think, do it the same time. Our plan is to do it the week after Blade Show, so I think we're gonna do it the Thursday after. I think that's the 18th, but I'm not positive. I think it's the 18th of October. So that would be the drop day for these. Now, we are gonna do a soft launch of at least our versions at Blade Show West. So we'll probably bring 25 or something of each of the carbon fiber versions to Blade West. So if you really want one, you could come to Blade West or have somebody proxy for you or something. One thing I really like on this model is because it's so small, I can kind of just like grip it like this and then use this as a thumb flick. When I'm not in the car, I can do it without almost throwing it across the room. There you go. Just another fun thing you can do with the knife. The way the flipper tab's set up, it's a little easier if you do it like with the clip side. The flipper tab's set up to where you can get up top on it and kind of like Zippo lighter flick it open. So you have just a few options on how you can flick it. I've never tried this one. I don't think it's gonna work for me. I don't know how people get any power on those flicks. What do you guys do? Oh shit, there he is. Friday night gas station is going to be tough on this one because, you know, I got to get in that choil to make it comfortable. If I come up here, I barely have any knife handle in my hand, but I guess I could, you know, turn it this way or something. I don't know. Anyway, stoked on the nip. Keep your eyes out for those. I'll start sending a few out to reviewers to check out. I already sent one to Stasa because I sent him something else that's very special. But I'm gonna let Stasa talk about that. And then I'll get some other ones out as well. But we can only send out the carbon fiber ones. The other ones are not ours to sell or promote. Those are dealer exclusives. So, yeah, they can send them out. Or I guess I could ask them if they want me to send any. But, yeah. The other thing I'm carrying that's very special today is my new Northwoods Leatherworks slip for the Pioneer Jack. So I got my slip in from Troy. Shout out to Troy, the best slip maker in the game, hands down. No questions asked, in my opinion. If you want a slip for a knife specifically, right? I mean, I guess they would work as general slips too, but for me, it's like, if I have this knife and I want a slip for it that matches and everything, Troy, all day, every day. So Northwoodsleatherworksco, check them out on Instagram. You can email them, northwoodsleatherworksco@gmail.com. This one is ghost leather. So what we have here is green Butera leather, and then they have a black wax over it. So it kind of hides the green, and then as I carry this, you'll see the colors change, and they do change. It takes time, but like you can see this line right here, looks like a scratch. It probably is, but that's gonna start showing green underneath. You can kind of force patina them if you like scratch them or something, but I tend to just carry them and it really naturally happens. The black ones do take a little longer than the white ones, I find, to start showing the wear, but I've had this for 24 hours. I mean, so you're not gonna see anything just yet. What I try to do is I put the knife in the slip and then I leave it in there for 24 hours at least. So this has just been in the slip since I put it in. I got it set the way I like it. I always like the blade facing the higher side. Shove it in as far as it can go, so she said. That's another place you'll see the wear start to show quickly, is down at the corners, like where the knife is really. But yeah, so I let it form and now I can take it out. So now it's gonna be easy to get it in and get out. But when I first had it, I had to like jam it in. That's just how it works. You're molding it. But these are so thin. This is something you should know. These are so thin, you do not need to wet mold these. Troy literally says don't do it. I mean, he can correct me in the comments if he wants, but he literally tells me don't do it because it's so thin, it'll just mush the slip up or something. This molds all by itself. I mean, look at that. It's essentially a wet mold or whatever you call it. 24 hours in there. Wasn't even in my pocket half the time. So imagine me carrying this for a week, which I will, you know, at least. And then here is the Pioneer Jack. These have dropped, obviously. So if you guys are interested, they should still be available at your favorite dealer. I'll try to link the ones I have affiliate links for down below, and I'll link the dealer list if I remember all this. But this is a model that aesthetically I loved, but functionally and everything, it took a minute to grow on me. It took about a day of me actually carrying it, and then I fell in love with it. So this one's really good. I did a video on it, so I don't want to harp on it, but if you're looking for a Jack Wolf that can do a little bit more harder use than the others, this is the one you want to go for. But I mean, look at this, walk and talk. That's just break-in. I have not touched the pivot. It's tight as a whistle. Tight as a whistle, is that a word? A saying? But I mean, just, you'll see occasionally I miss the pull because I'm trying to dig into that nail neck. It's the only thing that really is to gripe on this, and I'm used to it at this point. But it just has some really cool details, like the swedge line right here. This whole angle right here just, I don't know, gets me in the feels. And then along the spine, it has all these like angles that pop. It's hard to show you here. Well, check out my video on this, but you'll see like bang, 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 bang. There's just a bunch of angles that even come around here. It's just very cool. Dead center, you can see that tip is a little bit more robust than usual on Jack Wolfs, which is good. But yeah, awesome knife, and now it has its permanent home in the awesome slip. You also, when you put it in, so you want to put it in, jam it as far as you can go. At least that's my way of doing it. You know, you don't want to break the damn thing, but like you can get it down to the bottom is essentially what I'm saying. So you only have a little bit sticking out. I like it this way so I can grip and pull the thing out. Some people like to cover the full thing. And then something you can do is pinch around those edges. So around the knife you can pinch, and that'll kind of help form it. I always do that as well. So pinch, 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 pinch. Make sure it stays in place when you do it, obviously. And you can, I kind of squeeze and do this, and that helps as well. And then just carry the damn thing. Like, seriously, give it 2 or 3 days in this slip in your pocket. It'll be fully, perfectly formed. It's amazing. I just love his work, man. Look at that cross stitch pattern signature. I mean, honestly, I've said this many a times, but the slip is just as exciting to me as the knife. Always. Troy's work, it's just a combo made in heaven for me. So I'll shut up about that. One last thing I want to talk about is my new NJT coin. So this one's in a Lancelot leather slip. Also an absolutely excellent leather worker. And if you're looking for, the way I usually like to put it, and now they both can do the opposite, right? Like Troy can make generic slips. Lancelot Leather can make specific slips. But for me personally, if I want something that's going to work for multiple things, I usually will go to Joe, because I feel like his slips can be more universal somehow, or maybe it's just the material he uses. He uses more like this, like just leather, which is great leather. Where with Troy, I always match colors and shit. So you can't, like, it makes it hard. You can't put a black knife in a blue, you know, like you can, but I'm crazy. Anyway, this is a new NJT coin, but if you're looking for coin slips, definitely hit up Joe, because those are great. Look at this thing. This is zircuti that's flamed and etched. And this is his mini mount coins. This is the small version of the coin that I have like 12 of. And game over. This thing is amazing. Like, just the size of it is perfect. I think the size is literally perfect. So now I want 12 of these. That's how it goes, you know? But look at that. It's just crazy looking. It has like this spiral right at the, it has this little like spiral. But look at the material spiraling around it. I don't know, it's just gnarly to me. Such a cool piece. I gotta show this on desktop so you can get a better view, but you'll see it, trust me. Just really good. Yeah, it's been good. I've enjoyed the new house. There's some stuff, you know, we want to do to it over time. You know, like it has an above ground pool. I would love to get an in-ground pool, but yeah, it's probably not worth doing. It's gonna be like $100 grand. But maybe we could put some money into building the deck out so it's like around the pool, because right now it's like not. And then I want to like get a new fence and maybe like put some trees around it so it blocks everything off, because right now, like, you can just see through the backyard if you drive through the cul-de-sac or drive by the main road. But yeah, it's great. I got a John Deere mower, because the other cool thing is, as soon as I moved into the neighborhood, the dudes in the neighborhood, so I'm in a cul-de-sac, so there's like 5 or 6 houses around right on my street, and all the dudes get together and hang and stuff and talk, and they hit me up right away. Came over like, yo dude, so I hung out with them like Friday night, and then anyway, like I was like, man, this is gonna suck to mow with my, cause I have like a Cobalt propelled push mower thing, and I actually have been talking to the guy who owned the house before, because he's like in that group, he's still friends with everybody, like he just loves the neighborhood, which is awesome. It's a great, you know, endorsement, and I'm all about it because he can tell me stuff, right? And he's just cool. But he's like, dude, if you use that push mower, you're gonna be out there for 2.5 hours. Like, you're gonna be out there forever, and probably gonna need like 5 batteries. You know what I mean? So I was like, shit. And so the one dude was like, you gotta get a John Deere, man. It's like, we all got them. He's like, he got one, he got one, he got one. We all got John Deeres. I was like, damn, I don't want to be, you know, I don't want to be the only guy with a Husqvarna or whatever. So I was gonna try to just use the push mower and see what happened, but then got in my head, started researching. I got on Marketplace. I'm not crazy, guys. I'm not spending $4 grand on a lawnmower. Got on Marketplace. I found like a 2010 John Deere LA 115 on Marketplace from this dude who, he actually digs pools, which is funny. And he refurbs them or whatever. Like, he gets them for cheap and then sells them, right? So he put like oil in, new oil filter, that kind of shit. And the thing looks almost brand new. There's like one little tear in the seat, but everything else, like almost like it just sat in a garage for 10 years. And he's like, yeah, dude, he's like, if you're gonna put it in the garage, don't even worry about the seat, because I'm putting it in my garage. It's not gonna get worse, really. And you could buy a new seat, they're like $100, but. So I spent $1 grand, and he drove up. He's like, I'll drop it off, $50. So I paid, I think it was like $9.50, and I paid $50 for him to drop it off. And we were out there talking for like an hour, because he's a pool guy, so I'm trying to get this pool dialed in. And he starts telling me about this robot vacuum for the pool, and it's the exact one I was looking into. It's like $700. Fuck me. Probably get one of those next year. But so it's just been like, I don't know, it's just been really fun. Like, I feel like I'm doing, like, I said this to my wife, and she was like, you know, it's sexist or whatever, but I was like, I feel like I'm doing man stuff, you know? Like, I lived in a row home. Like, I couldn't really do a lot of stuff, if that makes sense. Like, I couldn't have a riding mower. Like, I just mowed the lawn, weed whacked it, and was done. Like, I could do it all in, you know, an hour, like less than an hour, half hour or whatever. I would fucking mow the neighbors' lawns out front, because it was easy to just hit all 3, you know. But I don't know, it just feels cool to be doing man stuff. So I got the tractor, I got a, I might just show you guys this. Maybe I'll do a video. You guys let me know if you want to see different stuff. Like, still gonna be me rambling, but like, I've gotten into tools, so like I got a whole bunch of Milwaukee tools, and I got other stuff. But I just ordered a insider ratchet from Milwaukee, because I was trying to get off the spindle covers on the John Deere to like clean them out, and I just like couldn't do it with it. I'd have to take down the whole deck, which seems like a fucking process. I also don't want to jack it up, so like I'm trying to, you know, and it's just like 3 screws. Or bolts. So I got this insider ratchet from Milwaukee I'm gonna try, because the stuff I had, I just couldn't get it like straight on. I tried my right angle thing, it just, nothing really worked well. It was like, and my ratchet head was too fat, so it was bumping before it could get in. So anyway, let me know if you guys are interested. I got a Husky like rolling tool cart thing that I filled out with all my tools, so I got it all in there, which is really nice. So I can just lock that, put the key away, kid can't get in there, and I have all my chargers set up on it because it has a power strip. I got the whole garage set up the way I like it. I put screws up all along the wall so I could hang all the tool, shovels, rakes, all that shit, so I didn't have them all piled in a corner, or like, you know, it doesn't have a shed or anything, so that, you know, luckily it's a 2-car garage and my truck doesn't fit. So I basically have one car garage for me to do whatever I want. Yard work, stuff, whatever. I'm already filling it up with the tractor and the mower and the tools and shit. It's basically full. Bikes and whatever. But yeah, so like between all that stuff and the pool, like learning chemistry and trying to clear it up, and you know, I replaced the filter and I'm like doing all this shit. I've learned pool stuff at this point. I'm a fucking expert, you know what I'm saying? At least on these little smaller stuff for the above ground pool. It's like a 10,000 gallon. It's a metal, whatever pool. I thought it was plastic, like really hard, like, you know what I mean? Like the good kind of plastic. But it turns out I think it's actually metal. Maybe it has a shell around it or something. But it's like a decent above ground pool. They probably spent like 15 grand on it altogether. So yeah, if you guys want to see any of that stuff, like I could do videos on that. That'd be kind of cool. Probably not gonna happen until next year at this point, because it's getting, like, I can't even use the pool, and I don't know how many mows I have left, but like, you know, I think I would have fun doing some videos like that. But you know, then you gotta set it up, you gotta have a way to film it all too, which is kind of annoying. I like to just grip and rip, you know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at right now. Anyway, I got a new P.O. box. It should be down in the description, so if you guys are sending anything for review or giveaways, stuff like that, you can use the new P.O. box. Yeah, just hit me in the comments with anything, and I think I'll get back on a normal routine pretty quick. I usually bounce back pretty quick, but it's just been a lot of stuff. Like, I want to do other things, kind of. Like, now I get it, you know? I've been, like, just consumed with knife stuff for so long, but maybe it was because I didn't have other stuff go, you know, like with the house I had, but we'll see. And I love you guys, so, you know, I'm not going anywhere. But I hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic day. If you're coming to Blade West, definitely come check us out. Table 9E, Salt Lake City. We'll be there. We'll have nips. We'll have growler V2s. We'll have buzzes. We might have like 1 or 2 mashes left over and pony stouts left over. I'm not sure. Colin has that stuff. And then we're going to have some prototypes. So we'll have some new prototypes. We'll have some old prototypes, which you guys know what that means. Probably sell some shit. Yeah, we just want to hang, talk to you guys, see you guys. It's a 2-day show. So I think I'm flying in Wednesday and flying out Sunday. So I think that's how I got it set up. And yeah, that's it. I love you guys. Thanks for shooting the shiz with me for 30 minutes here. Just Ramble City. It's kind of funny. Did I mention Blue Creek earlier? Because I'm wearing my Knife Nerd shirt. So anyway, love you guys. Hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. And I will catch you later.